I'm Beth Hohensee. I'm the owner, chief cook, and bottle washer, Studio Flora Diva. As a woman-owned business, my focus is kind of to hire other women, and I do have a predominantly female staff. They work as contracted labor on a per event basis. So as I book events and parties and things, I send out emails and everyone gets their schedule, and we just add in as things go along, and we show up the week of the event and do our job. Oh gosh, my typical day, that really depends. One of the joys of my job is that it's not the same every day. I'm not a cubicle office person. We creative people tend to have a less structured day for, compared to others. Usually if we have an event, we'll come in and we'll receive flower deliveries. We process the flowers, get them in water, get them ready. And then, usually what we start to do is, the next day or so, we come in and we put our aprons on and get our knives out and start, designing and prepping and getting everything ready. And it's just it increases a little each day as the event draws closer and we get things completed. So, and every event is a little bit different. So while the process may be the same, the actual flowers and the design and where we're going is always different. I live here, and I support my city. I like to support my city, and my industry is based here. Asheville, many years ago when I did my business plan, Asheville was number 5 or 7 in the nation as a destination wedding city. So there's a lot of activity happening here. When I was looking to start my own business, a friend of mine, her spouse works for Self-Help, and she said, you might want to go over there and see them. And then interestingly enough, shortly after that, I received a couple of flower orders. There must have been a birthday or something here, and I did get to come up and meet the staff and see the building. And so when I was ready to, I had my business plan kind of going, and I was ready to take steps to get startup capital, I came here. The actual loan that I received from Self-Help was startup capital, so it was basically used for overhead and rent and product and labor and those kinds of things. I mean, starting up a business is sort of a labor of love. It's not something that's an easy process necessarily. And I have to say that my experience here at Self-Help was probably as problem-free as it could have been. And I was delighted and surprised at how my loan officer was able to facilitate that for me. So I was very pleased. It was a lot less painful than I thought it was going to be. I felt encouraged and supported and heard during my process, of applying for a loan, and that I wasn't treated like a stranger or as someone. There was no adversarial feeling that I had to overcome, and that I felt like we were both partners in a community. Kind of plans for the future are maybe expanding my market a little bit, maybe to South Carolina, maybe a little east and west, and see if we can offer our services in those areas. I send people here to Self-Help all the time. I tell them the kind of support that I received and the guidance I received through the process, and I encourage anyone who comes, whose path I cross, to very much consider coming to Self-Help.